Hello and welcome back. This is Cara Putman, and this is the fourth and final lecture I'm going to do on layering. Sorry, my brain's getting a little tired. So this is on the spiritual journey, or you could think of it as the moral premise. That's a Stan Williams idea. And a lot of the best books and the most timely, memorable ones will have some kind of moral theme that speaks to our deeper natures and who we want to be. So even though not all of you will be writing, or maybe not many of you will be writing Christian faith-based novels, you do want to think about how is your character going to grow, either morally, spiritually, in integrity, and what crisis are they going to face? What's that moral truth that they're going to learn, and by extension, the reader's going to learn? So for example, one of the books that I keep coming back to is Demon, a Memoir by Tosca Lee. Tosca Lee is an amazing writer, and this was her first novel. Now, the title totally threw me. I was like, I don't want to read a book written from the perspective of a demon. I couldn't get through Screw Tape Letters. I'm not sure I want to read this one. But the question she asked is fantastic. Why were mudmen more valuable or important to God than the fallen angels? And by the mudmen, that's what, in her book, the demons called men, because we were made out of mud. Now, isn't that a fantastic example of a question or a premise that's going to drive a story? I read the book probably 8 or 10 years ago now, and that still sticks with me. It'll come back to me, and I'll just be like, that's such a big concept and idea. Why was it that way? And so it's a good example of one that just really sticks with you. So creating a moral premise is you want to think about what's going to be really pushing your character through. So Stan Williams' process is think about the virtue. So it could be joy, it could be peace, it could be generosity. And it's going to lead to a certain kind of success. And the vice, or the opposite of the virtue, is going to lead to defeat. So Tamara Alexander, Tricia Goyer, a lot of my friends really love this concept as a great way to really dive into what's the theme, what's the essence of my story. So here's an example from Tricia's book, The Memory Jar. Embracing who God made you to be leads to joy, but conforming leads to unmet longings. So when you read a book or you watch a movie and you go, what was the point? That means the theme wasn't real. I mean, we all get to the end and go, well, that was a waste of a couple hours. So it disappeared in the midst of the dialogue or the acting or the writing. And so you want to start with that high concept blurb. You think of what's in like a TV guide where they're telling you the concept of a show or a movie, and you're deciding whether you want to watch it. And describe your novel in a short paragraph. So this character wants to do what because of this motivation, but she faces this conflict that's standing in the way. So Audra, my character in Stars in the Night, wants to find her sister because she's concerned that she's not safe, but she faces a conflict, which I can't tell you without giving away the book, that makes it impossible for that to happen. And so you might have 4 or 5 different themes inside a book, but you want to see that they're all kind of connected in some way, maybe showing different facets of the same object. So Stan Williams says this: make the theme crystal clear by including a distinctive theme statement, preferably in the setup, by infusing the movie or book with moments of grace. And those are just the beats which awaken in the minds and hearts of the audience what the movie or book is really about, and by exhibiting both sides of the moral premise, as well as each side's consequences. So this might be, when you're setting it up, that the antagonist or the villain is the opposite of the hero or the heroine, and that they're showing the different ways that this moral thought plays out when it's a virtue or a vice. And so you can really do some cool things by making the villain kind of the antithesis of the hero. So one of the things I'd recommend that you do is wander over to Stan Williams' blog and review a few of his examples, and then try and craft that moral premise for your novel. All right? So the main idea with the spiritual thread or that moral premise is that there's some idea that your character is going to learn, something that's going to be revealed on a spiritual level, which actually ties into the essence in the inner journey. Usually the moral premise is going to be the essence that the character is moving closer to. It could be a Bible verse, it could be an Amish proverb, it could be a Sun Tzu statement from hundreds of years ago. It could be lots of different things, but what is that theme, and how does that then motivate your characters and kind of direct how they're going to act in the future? All right, well, I hope you found these videos helpful. I can be reached at my website, caraputman.com, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts and how this helped.